Hello everyone, Sableye here and welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be testing out this really cool Rhyperior team partnered with Porygon 2 and of course just 4 solid Pokemon in Incineroar, Fluttermane, Ogerpon Water, and Raging Bolt. Now, I'm very curious to see if we can actually function with Rhyperior with this team. I feel like there's options where it can happen, but we also just have that core balance of Ogerpon, Incineroar, Fluttermane, and those 3 alone can just win games sometimes. So we have the defensive backbone, the offensive pressure as well with Fluttermane, Raging Bolt, and then you just have that Trick Room mode slapped on here. I'm very curious as to how this team is going to function. But as with all teams we feature on this channel, guys, everything you need to know about the creator, paste, rental will be down below. Make sure to check it out. But with that, let's jump into some games. So we are going to be here with the first game of the day, and we have regular Lilligant, which feels like it's been forever since I've seen one of those. And then just like some pseudo Lilycole, Trick Room, Tyranitar is kind of an odd one here. But I'm very curious to see, like, this actually looks like, it almost looks like I paid an actor to show up with a team that loses to Rhyperior. Let's see if I can make it happen. So Rhyperior is by far coming in this matchup. It's more so a question of how do I get around the sleep powder stuff to actually get into Trick Room to do some damage. And maybe it's just better that I'm not in Trick Room, right? Maybe I should just lead Rhyperior. I'm a little concerned overall. I mean, if I could tell you the Terra type onto Lilligant, it would be so much better. But Rhyperior is coming here. It does a lot of damage to their team. It puts on so much pressure. Was this Trace P2 or was this download? I don't remember. It was download. Okay, cool. So I was going to say if it was Trace and I can trace like Chlorophyll or Sandstorm or anything like that, it could be pretty fun. Or even tracing like Psychic Terrain for later on in the game. I don't think that actually would matter though, ever. But besides the point, could have done a lot of cool things there. I think I want to go... I'm going to go P2 Incin with Rhyperior in the end game here. I don't really want to have to Terra the Rhyperior. I want to be able to utilize it just outside of Terra. And I feel like this should just be Ogerpon. Ogerpon seems to be the most consistent piece I can have here. Maybe I should be bringing Raging Bolt as well, right? Maybe Incineroar is the piece I shouldn't have. But I feel like by having Incineroar, it allows me to give me that pivot that gets me the Trick Room up, right? However, maybe I should be going Ogerpon, Porygon 2, go follow me, Trick Room, and then I have Raging Bolt to do, and have 2 big damage dealers, right? So it'll be interesting to see if I can capitalize off of this. I think Incin is still a good bring here. Okay, I am very happy with this. Because chances are, the way I look at this is they're going to want to get Trick Room up themselves. I am not going to set Trick Room. If they want to set Trick Room, they can go ahead and do that. I am going to Parting Shot off of the Indeedee in case they want to like make some sort of hard switch. We are unfortunately only going to get an attack boost here instead of the special attack, but we'll drop a regular old Terra Blast, get some chip damage. And I'm just going to Parting Shot. I'm going to try and get Rhyperior positioned onto the field because I basically don't want them to ever switch in Torkoal, right? So this is pretty much what I'm expecting. But by having Rhyperior on the field, they're not going to be capable of saying, yeah, I want to bring Torkoal onto the field right now because it's going to be too much, or it's going to be under too much pressure from my Rock Slides. So just getting a little bit of chip damage here with my Porygon 2. I still expect the Trick Room. I can't see them going for anything else at this point in time. I really am just expecting a Trick Room here. I would be shocked if they managed to try to come up with anything else right now. And there's the Trick Room. Perfect. So I can actually reverse the Trick Room whenever I so choose, which I don't really know if I want to right now. And I don't think I do. What I am going to do though is I'm going to Terra Blast the Ogerpon, and I am just going to click Rock Slide. Because when there's a Rock Slide, there's a way. Alright, here, if they switch in Torkoal, we get good coverage damage on that with Rock Slide. We get potentially catch it with the Terra Blast as well. I should maybe pivot into Incin, but I can save it in the back for right now. P2's not really threatened right now, and any extra chip is perfectly normal. Yeah, they're just going to give me the double Rock Slide. That is actually good damage. They're going to Instruct, which is going to instruct the Follow Me because they're going before the Indeedee. So how does this work? Do I get 2 chances to flinch now? Like, can I flinch now? I don't know if I can flinch now. Terra Blast is going to go into that Indeedee. It's going to go down, so we don't care about it too much. And the only concern I have is there something along the lines of... That's Sylveon. I was going to say is Torkoal have something like Solar Beam, but they're going to bring Sylveon in first, and I think I'm genuinely okay with this. It's just going to be Instruct Hyper Voice. There's no world where it's not going to just Instruct the Hyper Voice. With what I have in the back, I think it's time to reverse the Trick Room. So I will go ahead and try to do that. And once again, I will Rock Slide because if I can manage to get the flinches, it just works out way more in my favor. There's no reason for me not to. They could also like Terra Fire, but that would be really, really awkward here. It's probably going to be Terra Fairy if I had to guess. They're just going to try and send as much damage as they possibly can. My guess is this is going to be something like Specs, Hyper Voice, Sylveon. If I had to take like a complete guess, this is going to be Specs. They're going to try and just absolutely steamroll me right now. Thankfully, Rock Slide's going to come off. Can we get that flinch? They're going to get Hyper Voice number 1. I don't know if I can flinch on the Instruct turn. I genuinely do not know. Thankfully, Porygon 2, though, like I said, is going to be capable of... The Throat Spray makes this interesting. Symbiosis gives it the Life Orb. Oh, I am very dead. But we flinched the Ogre, we flinched the Oranguru, and get to reverse our Trick Room here. Is that for the best, though? Is reversing Trick Room actually worth it there? Because I almost want to say it wasn't. I get to recover, because now they're just going to get back into Trick Room, and I can't really do anything about that. Yeah, I can't do anything about them going back into Trick Room here. I guess I could Protect, actually. Yes, I recover and Protect, and if they're back into Trick Room, I can go for another Rock Slide for the chip damage. Because this should just be Hyper Voice and Trick Room. Alright, Rhyperior, you're a gamer. I should have put Rhyperior on the other side so we could see both Porygon 2 and Rhyperior, but you know what? Mistakes were made and it's okay. If they decide to go for an Instruct on the Hyper Voice and not set up Trick Room, I'm a lot less concerned. Yes, I'll lose my Porygon, but it's not the end of the world. They are taking Life Orb chip as well right now, but there is the Trick Room going on up as I was expecting. Now, here's the thing. Does High Horsepower get the kill? Because there's only one more turn of Psychic Terrain. So I think I'm just going to let Porygon 2 go. The question becomes, does High Horsepower get this kill on Sylveon? My guess is 100% no. So I'm just going to spam Rock Slides. I am just going to click Rock Slide, get a few more chunks of damage out. They're actually going to switch out the Oranguru, so no spread damage for them this time. Is it Torkoal? It's going to be the T-Tar. So they're actually going to boost my special defense, which is kind of weird. Is that enough for me to live? I would highly doubt it. But Life Orb and Sand Chip both coming out to chip off this Sylveon right now. I have no complaints. This Sylveon is either going to die this turn or next turn after a Fake Out. So Rhyperior did some decent work. We still have Ogerpon. It's a little spooky, but definitely very winnable. There's the Life Orb. Do they die to Sand? If they die to Sand Chip, we just win. They do not. They die to next turn of Sand Chip. So they have to either switch it off the field because I have Fake Out pressure, or they have to just leave it on the field to die to Sand Chip at the end of the turn after a Fake Out. Or die to the Fake Out. They either Protect, dodge the Fake Out, switch into a thing, or, you know, this feels incredibly strong right now. They're going to go down to -1 on the T-Tar as well. Ogerpon should be able to reverse this, no problem. I go Fake Out. See, if I go Fake Out, I don't need to Terra on my... I wonder if it's better to click Fake Out and Terra Water my instant, because then I don't need to Terra. I don't need to Terra Ogerpon here, actually. Yeah, I like that a lot. So I go Fake Out into you, and I just go IV Cudgel. Try to pick up the kill on T-Tar while I can. And by going Terra Water, basically I'm just saying that Incineroar is going to outlast the -1 T-Tar to just allow me to stay on the field. Maybe get an extra knockoff into the Oranguru near this endgame, because we are getting close to that endgame now. And it's a little bit spooky because if we take too much damage, it's gonna get troublesome. But we get the Fake Out, we kill off the Sylveon. That was the piece that needed to go down. I was never gonna not Fake Out that Sylveon. They were probably trying to make a read onto that. I was never gonna give them that. That was never gonna happen. And now this is just gonna be a Rock Slide because why not? I did it. Oh, they crit me. That's really bad actually. But thankfully we do get the IV Cudgel. Give them a little bonk, and we are gonna clean up that game. And this should be all but sealed. I don't think Oranguru can do enough here. I would imagine maybe they have an attacking move, which is probably like a Psychic, but that's not winning them this game. The crit was a little bit unfortunate, but I would 100% rather get crit there than getting flinched, because getting flinched makes that really awkward to a spot where they can just click Instruct, Rock Slide, and things get really, really ugly. So we go Knock Off, we go Hornless just to get some health back if we do manage to get an attack off. They are going to Foul Play as their main attack. Ogerpon though, absolutely good, gonna live. Knock Off. actually doesn't kill, mainly because they lost their item because of the symbiosis by giving it to the Sylveon. But we are going to get that kill onto your Anger right now. And Rhyperior was kind of good there, guys. Like, it came clutch with that big flinch and didn't do crazy amounts of damage, but given the fact that I really didn't expect them to just give me games with Torkoal, give me games with Rhyperior, I'll take it every day of the week. We are going to get Archaladon, Tornadus, Amoonguss. Now, this is going to be really, really difficult to cycle around. However, having Ogerpon and Fluttermane is going to be the key here. We're going to leverage Ogerpon, Fluttermane, Incineroar into this game every single day of the week. It's just a question of how do I want to make sure I close out this core. Because I don't really love Rhyperior here. It's not very strong on the special defensive side. They've got an Urshifu. I'd have to tear it. They have an Amoonguss as well. I think Trick Room entirely stays on the bench. However, I don't know if I necessarily want... I think I do still want Raging Bolt, but I want Raging Bolt like endgame. And I think I want to go something like Incin... Actually, let's lead Incin in the back. Let's go Ogerpon, Flutter, Incin, and Raging Bolt. I think that probably works out fairly well. So the concept here, like I said, is going to be leveraging Ogerpon and Flutter to do the majority of the damage here, and then having something like that Raging Bolt to clean up any sort of endgame. By leading Fluttermane, we potentially force the Landorus to go Terra Poison as well if they were to lead it. And the moment they go Terra Poison on Landorus, they're capable of getting hit by the Thunderclap from our Raging Bolt. So a lot of options here opening up, and there is the Lander. Hey, thank you, Genies, am I right? Anyways, we're going to be in a pretty decent spot off of this. I'm never going to complain about this position. And this, to me, is just simply... I could try to go Power Gem, but like I think this consistent Moonblast over there and Terra Water Ivy Cudgel to drop you is pretty consistent overall. There's not too much that really backfires here. If they try to just attack with their Torn and just go for Bleak Wind, it's not a problem. If they go like Bleak Wind, Sludge Bomb into Ogerpon, I survive because I Terra. And it just feels solid overall. There's nothing that really threatens this immediately. Like, Protect Tailwind doesn't help them. Protect Bleak Wind because I'm Terraing doesn't really help them either. I could double the Torn, but I'm really focused on killing off this Landorus because it is the main reason, or the main item on... Main Pokemon, there we go. The main Pokemon on my opponent's side of the field that really shuts down my Raging Bolt. So if I can get rid of this Landorus sooner rather than later, it is super, super good for us. We're going to Terra the Ogerpon as of course, and I'm expecting just maybe like a Terra on their end as well. Just I feel like they want to go Terra Poison here. That's also fair. You know what? Like I said, I think this is probably going to be a Protect and a Bleak Wind. It makes the most sense. Yeah. Moonblast, can we crit and kill? That would be great. We do not crit. We do not kill. And we were faster than the Torn, so I should have doubled the Torn, guys. I should have gone for the double, but they're going to Bleak Wind now, so it's not... Oh, we're dodging? We dodging? Let's go. Was that Fluttermane that dodged? That's Fluttermane with the dodge, right? Yeah, okay. So Fluttermane with the dodge. Thankfully, no speed drop here, but once again, they can't kill pieces right now. I almost want to leave the Torn on the field because it's not a threat. And I'm going to do exactly that. We're just going to leave the Torn on the field. Yeah, we're going to leave the Torn on the field. I have no reason to try to kill it right now. They're probably going to try and set up like a Tailwind. This is what? The Archaladon? I am more than fine with that. This is a big Moonblast going out into it. They set up the Tailwind. That is perfectly fine. And my goal here was just to put as much damage onto Archaladon or onto this slot as I possibly could. And getting that damage right now is really, really strong for us. Obviously, they take that pretty well. But it's not the end of the world because I don't really care. I'm going to be honest, I genuinely don't care that much because Ivy Cudgel comes on out, does a good chunk of damage. It is now in range of dying to another Moonblast. Do I want to follow me? That's very clearly Assault Vest. And I think I do just want to Moonblast it. The question is, do I want to follow me? I don't think so. I think I'm okay just dropping a... Bleak Wind Flash Cannon might kill my Flutter though. If Bleak Wind Flash Cannon kills my Flutter... Actually, you know what? What am I doing? I can just cycle in Instant and Spiky Shield, and then I can go Fake Out and kill the Torn, and then cycle around, get out of Tailwind, and I'm fine. Swap you in, and just Spiky. It should be a perfectly fine turn. They shouldn't be really switching out. There should be some sort of... They have to call whether or not I'm going to follow me or not, and they have to pick which Pokemon they want. I could also see a Rain Dance and a Electro Shot trying to get into my Ogerpon here. I could definitely see that being the case, but bringing Instant in gives me Fake Out pressure, helps me stall out Tailwind. Just all in all, really, really strong. It's a really strong turn. They can't really do too much to stop this. outside of body pressing a Fluttermane, which would be absolutely insane. If they body press my Fluttermane, I will tip my cap. There is nothing I can do if they body press my Fluttermane. There's the Rain Dance. I'm expecting just an Electro Shot right now, based on this play. There's the Electro Shot. Is it into Ogerpon? If it's into Ogerpon, we are absolutely gaming. And we're perfectly fine. I think if hit perfect. Absolutely fine. So now I could go Fake Out, and I think I have to click the Fake Out button. I would love to be able to Parting Shot, but I have to Fake It Out, and I have to go after the Torn right now. And basically, this should allow me to get out of Tailwind. And once we're out of Tailwind, Fluttermane should actually be capable of cleaning his endgame up. Perfectly, no Protect onto Torn, whether they don't have it or whether they just simply didn't click it here. We may never know, but they will drop a Bleakwind, which is fine. Doesn't really concern me all that much. Thankfully, no Speed Drop either, because that could have really messed up my plan. It would have made me reset my Ivy Cudgel, or would have made me reset my Ogerpon, which definitely was not something I intended to want or intended to have to do in this endgame. So being able to just be alive with this is really, really strong right now. And I'm expecting this Ogerpon to be built faster. I will double check though, to be built faster than the Landorus, just because that seems to be the way Ogerpons are leaning right now, just to make sure they take out those Lando Eyes. They obviously still have the ability to Terra, but they gave me Rain. That is Flutterhar, which is indeed the Fluttermane. How many turns left of Tailwind here? 1 for them, right? Perfect. Do I want to reset my instant here? I don't think so. I will just Parting Shot the Fluttermane if they give it to me and just Spiky Shield. And basically this is, assuming they are Specs Fluttermane, this should give me a guarantee that Incineroar is coming off the field. Right? I want Incineroar off the field because they should be trying to lock Moonblast. I have a full health Fluttermane in the back. So like, as long as Incineroar comes off the field, I can just get make sure that I get 2 kills next turn. Oh, well, they're going to crit me. So, yeah. Well, Fluttermane's off the field, guys. Fluttermane is officially off the field. I was really hoping that Incineroar would survive the turn, get the Parting Shot off. It would just make the ability for Ogerpon to survive the Fluttermane's next attack very, very likely. However, now I think we should still be fine. However, if they do decide to go like Terra Fairy, it gets a little spooky. Moonblast is in range of killing off the Archaludon though, so that's exactly where we're going with that. I could redirect, but I really don't think I want to. Let me just think. Does redirecting get me anywhere? If I redirect, it guarantees that the Archaludon goes down. And then I have... No, it's fine. I don't need to redirect. I Moonblast you, and I just Ivy Cudgel into the Fluttermane. We should be fine here. They're going to Terra Fairy. They're going to try and drop my piece. The question is, which piece are they going to try and drop? I'm hoping they try to drop my Ogerpon, but I don't want to follow me. Yeah, they should be dropping, actually, I wonder if they try to drop my Fluttermane. They're going to try to drop my Fluttermane. My Fluttermane is faster. We're going to get the kill onto the Archaludon. Now, ideally, they hit my Fluttermane here. But I'm pretty confident a play like that, they're hitting my Ogerpon. Yeah, okay. So, is this winnable? I don't know if this is even winnable anymore. I feel like it should be. Thunderclap Moonblast should hopefully kill the Fluttermane. If Thunderclap Moonblast kills the Fluttermane, I have the game won. If Thunderclap Moonblast does not kill the Fluttermane, we lose. Although, actually, I technically could lose if they're Sandsear Storm as well, right? Obviously, I'm Moonblasting Fluttermane. And the question becomes, do I want to hard call that and protect? I don't think I want to protect here. I think I really just need to kill Fluttermane and hope that they're not any sort of like Sandsear Storm. Because if they're Sandsear Storm, I lose. So we're going to go into Fluttermane and try to get the kill. Thunderclap, no protects coming out. This Moonblast is going to be very, very close. I think it should get there. Okay. We get the KO. You'll love to see it. Fluttermane goes down on their end. And this is hopefully just an Earth Power to kill my Raging Bolt. The moment it becomes Sandsear Storm, it becomes very, very problematic. It is going to be the Sandsear Storm. It is going to be enough to two-shot. And we lose unless for whatever reason we crit this Moonblast now. So it being Sandsear Storm, but I couldn't have done anything. Because they were just going to Moonblast my Flutter. And then I can't win the endgame anyways. So this was just the best play. I could get the Moonblast special attack drop as well. Which could give me a chance here to win this game. So we Moonblast. Moonblast is just a play. I don't have another option. So it's Moonblast. And we are going to not get the kill. We get the drop. Is that enough to keep me alive? Fluttermane is goated, guys. You cannot script this. Moonblast coming out from this Fluttermane is going to get us to win. So a little bit of plot armor there. But you know what? Sometimes you got to take what you get. And you cannot complain when you get lucky like that. But that having Sandsteer was very spooky. I think the crit on instant did matter. Unless they dropped the Electro Shot into the instant as well. If they simply just if they Electro Shotted the Ogerpon Spiky Shield regardless, and my Incineroar would have lived, this game would have been over a long, long time ago. Oh, this is fun. Well, this is fun. I was not ready for this. Electabuzz and Magmar. You know, one or the other. Cool. Both of them, kind of wild. Let's see what we can do here. This is a Rhyperior game by every sort of means. I am going to try and get Trick Room up and sweep this with Rhyperior. That is most certainly what's going to happen. Now, I think I'm going to go Instant P2 and go for the Parting Shot play to get Rhyperior onto the field. That seems pretty strong to me. And then I kind of just want to close this with like either Ogerpon or Fluttermane. I feel like Ogerpon is a little bit more consistent. Just because I'm already bringing two other pieces that are weak to the Urshifu. And having a Fluttermane, yes, it can kill it. But not knowing the item on that Urshifu, I feel like just having Ogerpon here makes up a little bit more of a consistent strategy. Maybe I'm wrong. Just not knowing what's on their team, not knowing if they're like Clear Amulet, not knowing if they're Scarf Ursh. It's really tough to make sure they can bring Fluttermane safely. So Ogerpon feels fairly correct. Could have also made a case for the Raging Bolt as well, but that's okay. I think in a best of one, this is probably my best four that I could bring. Speaking of which, they've got an Incineroar on their trainer card. They know what's about to happen, guys. They got the Incineroar. They know they're about to get Incineroar. All right, so they're gonna go Ursh Electabuzz. Pretty cool lead, but that's where I just don't care because I get to go. Does Electabuzz have Taunt? Is the other question that I have. Download should be special attack every single time. I don't know if Electabuzz has Taunt, and that's really where this becomes concerning. I think I'm okay though, just kind of go Parting Shot the Ursh and Trick Room. Yeah, I'm not really in threat of it. I'm not really in range of dying to this Urshifu. They're gonna what? Helping Hand Surging Strikes and get my instant. That's fair if they want to go for that. I'm not overly concerned. I could have gone Terra Water there. Yeah, Terra Water was probably appropriate, but it's okay. So we're losing instant. There's no doubt in my mind Incineroar is not making it through this turn, okay? That's fine. Incineroar is just here to try to guarantee Trick Room up, get a little bit of a cool play. I was not hard switching in Rhyperior there, ever. Trick Room now goes up. I'm going to bring in Rhyperior, and I think I am going to click Terra Bug. I think I'm going to click Terra Bug. I'm going to go Terra Blast into the Urshifu, and I'm going to go High Horsepower into the Electabuzz. And this just allows me to survive the Surging Strikes by going Terra Bug, and then we can go Terra Blast into the Ursh, and that should be a 2-shot at this range. If they try to protect something or try to switch something out here, we're still getting very consistent damage. So I feel pretty strong with this play. I mean, the Terra is a little weird. It's a little bit odd, but I think it's okay for the most part. I feel like having Grass Terra would just be so much better in front of, like, Fluttermane. In front of... It's good Protect. Having a Grass Terra would be so much better in front of something like the... like a Moongus, which would allow me to bring it to a Moongus matchups a little bit better. But Bug is very cool, obviously resisting the fighting types as well, which definitely makes a lot of sense. So now they should go Follow Me if they have it. But if they don't have it, and they're like... I guess they could be Sash Electabuzz as well, which would become rather problematic. Because they are stalling out turns of my Trick Room here, which is not great to see. They're going to go Helping Hand though, so they're just going to try and send a Surging Strikes. I'm kind of okay with that. I wish I would have doubled the Urshifu now though, but it's a little annoying as well. The static is kind of rough, but it's okay. Porygon going to drop a Terra Blast here, going into big damage here. Is this a close combat, like a -1 close combat from this Urshifu? It is. That's fine, I shouldn't be dying. Perfect. I go High Horsepower into the Urshifu, and I try to recover with the Porygon 2 right now. Because if I can get out of Trick Room with enough health, I can get Trick Room back up to win this endgame. It's a little spooky, because I could obviously still get fully paralyzed. They could go for the redirection as well. They are going to go for that redirection, so maybe Rock Slide was my better play, but it was never going to kill the Ursh anyways, so that's going to cost me this. That para really is going to cost me this. If there was a chance, I needed to not be parried there, but because I got parried there, I'm pretty confident this is just over now, because they send another CC. I am alive at the very least. They are getting very weak on the defensive side. I think I can click Rock Slide this time and try to recover again. There should be 2 turns left of room, 1 turn left of room. So I send a Rock Slide, ideally trying to kill both, and I'm going to recover up. Maybe I should be trying to cycle into... Oh, they're going to Terra? What are they clicking Terra on? Tearing the Earth into a water type. So now they're definitely dead to a Rock Slide. This is really... Oh, they're going to go Aqua Jet. They're going to go Helping Hand Aqua Jet. They're going to go Helping Hand Aqua Jet. Can we live? They're -1. But they're also probably Mystic Water. Porygon, buddy. Porygon, buddy. I believe in you. Let's go. All right, Rhyperior, don't let me down. Rhyperior with the Rock Slide. Going to come on out. Going to clean up both. Porygon's going to get the recover up. I do respect that play a lot. That was probably one of the better plays that they could have gone for, realizing that they're going to go down to Rock Slide. But given the fact that Porygon is just super, super bulky, it is awesome to see. And here comes the recover. Good job, Porygon. Twisted Dimensions can go ahead and return to normal. I'm not too concerned about that. Iron Hands and what as their last Pokemon? I still have my Ogerpon. I have to remember that. Right now, Rhyperior does a very good job of just beating this Iron Hands. I have an Ogerpon as well. That is booster what? Speed would be amazing because it would do so much less damage. Special attack, that's a little annoying. I was kind of hoping that, you know. I have to do as much damage as I can to the Flutter Mane. So here's a high horsepower and Ice Beam. I have to try and kill Flutter Mane because Rhyperior can 1v1 to hands, especially with Ogerpon support. So right now they're going to go Fake Out into Porygon 2. I'm fine with that. And a Dazzling Gleam. That is not a 2-shot. Thank you, Rhyperior. Rhyperior, buddy. I don't think there's much more I can really do other than that, guys. I mean, I'm trying. I can't do much if they're going to get paralyses like that. I can't do much if they're just going to paralyze me like that, unfortunately. I need them to mess up and like Moonblast here. No, they're just gonna Dazzling Gleam again. Yeah, if they're gonna paralyze me like that, guys, there's absolutely nothing I can do, unfortunately. Yeah, they got it exactly when they needed it, time and time again. So, what I do now is lose, right? I don't think there's ever a world. I double Flutter Mane. I have to. But I'm pretty sure I lose Rhyperior to the double up. Unless they're I need them to accidentally double up Ogerpon, not get the kill. And then I can win with Rhyperior because I can go follow me beside it. Dazzling Gleam, not going to kill the Rhyperior, but a double up will. And I need to make sure we're going to Horn Leaf. Flutter Mane's going to barely survive here. Rock Slide would have been cool. Would have technically been the better play. But they're going to double into the Rhyperior here. Oh, they're not going to double. Hold up. Rhyperior, buddy. Thank you. Okay. Good job, Rhyperior. This is an interesting one now, guys. This is a very interesting endgame. I think I just drop a high horsepower. The question is, do I follow me? I want to say no. I think I go high horsepower Horn Leech and just try to get some health back. They should target into my Rhyperior, but hopefully with 2 turns of Horn Leech, I can get enough health back from this and we can win this game. Very interesting endgame though. We're going to get the Horn Leaf. I think they also might expect maybe a Protect from the Rhyperior or a Follow Me, and they might try to kill off my Ogerpon. So let's see if that's what they go for. They do just Drain Punch. I'm surprised that got the kill. I'm really surprised that got the kill into the Rhyperior there. I didn't think Drain Punch was going to be enough for them. So now the optimal play is to Spiky Shield. I will always Spiky Shield because anytime I can potentially get extra chip damage, I will always take that. and then I'll go Horn Leech again. Actually, is Ivy Cudgel just better now? I might need 2 Ivy Cudgels. Although I should get enough health back with Horn Leech. We'll see. I don't know how much damage they're really going to be doing to me. Because technically, if I can get this in range of 2 Ivy Cudgels, we're gaming. If they're going to Drain Punch, though, my play is to Horn Leech. Like, if they're going to Drain Punch instead of risking the damage, my play is to Horn Leech and get more health back. The problem becomes if they decide to, if Horn Leech just misses the 2-shot, Ivy Cudgel would be the 2-shot here. But I don't want to Ivy Cudgel, have them Drain Punch, and then be in a spot where I actually just lose the game. So I'm going to go Horn Leech into Spiky Shield, into Horn Leech, and hopefully that should be fine. Yeah, 2 Ivy Cudgels would have got there, but I'm pretty confident they're going to try and drop a Drain Punch. But I think because they have so much health, we should be okay. Okay, they Drain Punch here. We're alive at 73. The correct play for me is to always Spiky Shield here. They're not gaining enough health back, so I will Spiky Shield. They should call this and click Fake Out. But they can't really afford to be wrong, so maybe they don't. This is very close. I think we have this. They have to call the Spiky Shield. I'm never going to call them calling the Spiky Shield. Spiky Shield is always just my play. Because if they just hit into it, we take it every single time. Exactly, there we go. Extra chip damage. I'm still not going to click Ivy Cudgel because I'm not confident in the KO on Ivy Cudgel. I'm genuinely not confident in that getting the KO. So I will go for the Horn Leech. It should give me enough health to survive another Drain Punch or a Wild Charge based on the previous turns of damage. Once again, Ivy Cudgel probably would have won me this game a little while ago. But I'm comfortable living this Wild Charge if they decide to send it. They're going to just Drain Punch instead. Ogerpon is going to survive. Thankfully, I gave them a lot of health though. This should be Ivy Cudgel range, right? Yeah. Once again, I Spiky Shield because if I can get the turn where they attack into me, we absolutely take it every single time. But they are going to forfeit. We are going to get our W there, and that will seal it for the video, guys. With that, thank you all so much for watching. If you guys do enjoy this type of video, please feel free to leave a like and subscribe. It really does help out the channel, and of course, I really do appreciate it. But I'm going to stop rambling now. I will catch you all in a future video.